Hey guys, Mike again. I know Harold had said he might put the series into an indefinite hiatus and the second video of me was going to be my last, but Harold has had a change in plans for the future and decided to return to this starting with a gamepasta named Depressing Red Rescue Team Hack by someone unknown, plus a sonic pasta named Maria's Revenge by Jacob, aka Fictitious Animation. Plus I had wanted to do all of this myself rather than have it be requested by Harold, or Sam, though Sam has been bitching a lot about him being fucked over because of that indefinite hiatus. While I agree it kinda sucks, but he really needs to stop bitching and take a fucking chill pill honestly.
Shut the fuck up, Mike. Besides, you're just a piece of fucking shit and you fucking know it.
Oh, fuck off, Sam. Besides, I enjoy this more than me hanging with you, you fucking asshole.
At least I don't have a fucking Neopets fetish like motherfucking Harold.
At least someone here doesn't give a fucking shit about it, Sam, so can you shut the fuck up for fucking once and let me fucking read these stories? Jesus, the fucking nerve of Sam's tantrums knows no fucking bounds, does it? I'm not normally one to get emotional over games, but a recent incident has got me thinking that perhaps I should try. A while back, while searching through pawn shops for some interesting looking bootlegs or pirated games, I came across a rather funny looking cartridge simply labeled Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Now, the first thing going through my mind is why the hell a pawn shop would pay any amount of money for a shit looking cartridge, but then again pawn shops would probably buy organs, if they could get their hands on them. The cartridge itself intrigued me, though. It was a regular GBA cartridge aside from the paper label and some minor scratches. I've always been interested in things like Creepy Black and Lost Silver, so I honestly thought that perhaps this could be some creepy and known Pokemon game with a ghost in it or something. I bought the crappy cartridge and returned home, grabbing my DS and shoving it into the slot. My hopes were high and getting higher, as a badly glitched title screen popped up for me. This thing was already promising enough with the weird label, but now the unintelligible mess of a title screen made it even better. From what I could see, it was the standard Red Rescue Team game, but the colors of the screen were off, probably because the previous owner didn't take care of it at all. All the colors were dull gray and any colors that weren't gray were badly washed out and bland. I chose a new game and started with the quiz. The text in the quiz section was badly glitched. Letters were replaced with different characters and numbers. Even the answers looked like they were written in some poor man's leet-speak. I just answered the questions at random, until I eventually reached the "Are you a boy or a girl" type question. Or at least it seemed like that. There were only two choices, and the respective symbols were in the text. I chose boy, and wondered what kind of Pokemon I'd get from the mess of questions I just answered. A selfish person like you is a Cubone, the broken text managed to announce. Normally I'd try to be a Trico or something, but Cubone was alright considering I couldn't understand the questions in the first place. From here things started going downhill. The game skipped past the choosing of my partner, and apparently the entire intro altogether, and threw me into a dungeon. This was weird to say the least. The game didn't even let me name myself. The dungeon was as badly broken as the rest of the game. Pieces of spreadwork and walls were littering the place, and the enemy Pokemon were clipping into the pieces of wall and map all over. Naturally, being the cheap prick I am, I snuck up on them and took them out for exp, the walls holding them in place, while I pretty much mutilated them. I should mention something else. Combat in this game was considerably easier than in the original Red Rescue Team. Enemies were constantly getting stuck in the walls and didn't react when I attacked them at all, only making distorted cries when defeated. My Cubone was a bit odd too. When it leveled up, Instead of the usual happy things like I feel braver now, or I feel more confident, he would say mummy and his stats would barely increase. I decided to nickname the Cubone Crybaby because of this, and I quickly realized that no matter how many floors I was going down, Crybaby never seemed to reach the bottom. All the way down I encountered trapped Pokemon who I farmed for more XP. The dungeon itself was getting more and more glitched, as I continued to, meaning more Pokemon became ensnared in glitchy tiles and made helpless to Crybaby's assault. I managed to get Crybaby to level 6 before the entire dungeon suddenly changed. The floors and walls were gray. Even the nasty washed out colors of the dungeon were replaced by the same shade of gray. I was still encountering weak Pokemon trapped in glitches, but now when defeated their bodies glitched out as well instead of fading away. At one point I managed to defeat a Rattata who wanted to join my party. Upon saying no and cap in game, I got this message cap and $sign number cap number. What the fuck does this mean? Something about this particular line of horribly broken text kinda gave me a chill. The Rattata in the glitched wall didn't fade or glitch out like Crybaby's other targets, he just kinda stood in the glitch and stopped moving altogether. Attempting to talk to him got the same line of text, but with a nice ellipsis, replacing the exclamation marks. His icon was that of a sad or depressed character in game 2. After the Rattata incident, I decided to name him Schrodinger, because God knows, whether his body would go away like the others or not, something finally hit me. I'd gone up 6 levels, gone down about 20 or so floors, if not more, and Crybaby hadn't complained about one of the more annoying aspects of the regular game. He wasn't hungry. Normally, long explorations into dungeons leaves Pokemon hungry, which can be relieved with apples. If he was hungry, and thanks to the unreadable eldritch text of the game I wouldn't even know if he would have fainted by now. It was at this moment that I checked my items. Since I'd played the normal game enough, I was able to go through the ungodly broken menu to see what I had. I had a good number of something called formula. First off, I was blown away by readable text, in all caps of all things. Second, formula? Like, baby formula? Curious, I decided to use formula on Crybaby. Money. Whatever this item was, it instantly leveled up Crybaby and gave his stats the boost that the regular level ups weren't even trying to give him. I found that I could only use formula every 3 floors, because Crybaby was full or something after each use. And by the time I was done he'd gone from level 6 to level 16. This meant that I had gone 30 floors and still hadn't reached the end of this glitchy mess of a game. As if reading my mind, the endless dungeon of fun finally changed again. Gray walls with red splotches. Classy. As I wandered this new area, thoughts started popping into my head. I wonder if Schrodinger is dead yet. Where's the boss? Where's the bottom of this freaking place? Wait, 3rd floor. Did I use formula yet? Money. Okay, that last one was Crybaby, but at the rate enemy difficulty was suddenly increasing, and by difficulty I mean how long it took to kill their trapped bodies, I was pretty much crying for my mom, as well as for something else to happen. Then, with a mix of formula and senseless killing, Crybaby reached level 28 and evolved into a Marowak. I lost count of how many floors I'd gone down. I lost count of how many Pokemon were slaughtered, but at least. Wait. How did Crybaby evolve? One of the big things about Mystery Dungeon was that the Pokemon couldn't evolve, so how in the hell did Crybaby manage to do it? With his evolution came a new level up phrase daddy. I was creeped out to say the least. I decided to shake it off as the bad programming of a badly broken game. At least, I should have shaken it off. Everything about Crybaby was becoming more and more disturbing the more I thought about him. He was a Marowak, one of the most depressing Pokemon ever, who was thrown into a deep pit as a Cubone, and was living out his life killing trapped Pokemon and drinking baby formula. The one Pokemon he spared, Schrodinger, had more than likely starved to death, meaning the one friend he could have had was now dead. Why was I thinking about this so deeply? It was a broken copy of Red Rescue Team. It was a broken game. These weren't real people, or real situations. But still, with the amount of time I was spending on Crybaby's seemingly hopeless adventure into what was probably the depths of Pokemon hell, I was getting really attached to the little sociopath. This made the end of the dungeon even more heart-wrenching. Crybaby entered a large empty room. He was completely out of formula now, and was ridiculously overleveled. The room had absolutely nothing in it. No stairs, no Pokemon, no wonder tiles, nothing. And then Crybaby got stuck. Walking up to the end of the room got the Marowak stuck in the same glitchy walls that once held his victims. No matter what I did, I couldn't get Crybaby to move out of the spot. All he could do was twitch and spin in place. When Crybaby was trapped, the room flooded with enemy Pokemon that Crybaby had killed during his adventure. All I could do was hold B. The Pokemon surrounded Crybaby and whittled away at his health. Sometimes broken text would pop up with empty icons, sometimes Crybaby let out the death wails of previous Pokemon he killed for experience points, but the end result was the same. Crybaby's health hit 0, and the screen faded to black instead of warping Crybaby away. My DS then shut off on its own, making me jump and shaking me out of whatever dazed state it had put me into while playing. After checking my pants, I turned my DS back on and immediately tried to play again. If that was a game over and I didn't save the entire time, I could just restart, right? When the game turned on, the screen was just black. The only available option was a broken continue. Obviously I choose it. I had to make sure Crybaby was okay. Like hell he was. Continuing the game, I was given back control of Crybaby, who was now nasty gray like the backgrounds of the hell he wandered for those few hours. He was stuck in the room, where he died, with stuck Pokemon respawning over and over for him to slaughter. His old level up line of Daddy was replaced with Daddy help me. By now I was tearing up and freaking the fuck out. The Pokemon I had raised in that endless hellhole was trapped in some sick room, where he would never escape, and he was still hoping I'd help him. The broken text of the menu was replaced with Daddy kill me, and selecting that just made the DS shut off. Any attempts to replay the game always sent me to the trap room, where Crybaby was forced to re-kill his victims and beg me for death. To this day, I've kept the broken cartridge with me, locked away where no one will take it. I already lost Crybaby once. I refuse to let it happen again. I understand why the cartridge said I was selfish now too, why it baited me into leading Crybaby to his own hell. Even if it was just the result of some sick programming or a bug, the adventure of Crybaby made me look at myself and see that even humans are capable of becoming horrible monsters. I had recently gotten into Wi-Fi hacking, when an internet friend suggested I rip my own games for emulators. He sent me a tutorial that allowed me to use my Wi-Fi to put GameCube games onto an SD card, which I could then put onto the computer and use Dolphin, a GameCube/Wi-Fi emulator, to play. This was convenient, because my Player 1 socket on my Wi-Fi was broken and it had been years since I could play any of those old games. Being the Sonic fan that I am, I immediately put Sonic Adventure 2 into my Wi-Fi, launched a program called Clean Rip, and about 20 minutes later it was done. I hadn't used Dolphin before, but I eventually figured it out and launched Sonic Adventure 2, Battle. I eagerly configured my controls and started with the hero storyline, thrusting myself immediately into city escape. I played 4 days straight, only stopping to eat, sleep, and go to my part-time job at the bakery. I was playing Jiao Karate. My Jiao, tiny, delivered a spinning back kick to the opposer and won the match, granting me the final emblem in the game. I had all emblems, all S rank, the secretary theme, all 3 Jiao gardens, the alternate costumes, everything in the game. That's when it dawned on me that this is the second time I've done this in my lifetime, and it's time to put the game to rest. I couldn't do it though. I was so addicted to the game I had to keep playing. So I launched up the web browser and typed into a Google search, "Unlockable secrets in Sonic Adventure 2. I found some hidden artwork, apparently some Halloween costumes you could get back when Dreamcast had DLC, but I'm on the GameCube version anyway. New items for Jiao Garden, but one thing really caught my attention. A Maria Robotnik menu theme. My reaction was that of a child. Oh my god. A Maria theme. I learned quickly that you had to have a Game Boy Advance to do it, and you need 30,000 rings. I had 50,000 or so rings, but I didn't have a Game Boy Advance. I searched for an emulator solution and found that someone had made a modified version of Dolphin that could connect to the Visual Boy Advance emulator, a Game Boy Advance emulator. I downloaded a Sonic Advance 2 ROM and launched it in Visual Boy Advance M. Then, launched up Sonic Adventure 2 in the modified version of Dolphin. I went to the Jiao Garden in both games to make sure it was connected, then went to the black market in Sonic Adventure 2 and lo and behold, the Maria theme was there. Success. I bought it immediately and flew to the options screen to apply the Maria theme, but when I did the game locked up and I saw the Windows 7 message Dolphin.exe has stopped working. Windows is checking for a solution to the problem. It stayed for a few seconds until the close program button showed up. All I could do was hope I didn't lose my progress. I relaunched the game and saw Maria in the background holding the pose from the Shadows Past cutscene. Maria's image was fighting and tearing the graphics. The logos were very broken. At times you could see through parts of them. It looked like MS Paint garbage. This was even more so apparent when the opening movie started, showing the long bridge from Radical Highway with Maria still in the background. The graphics were still fighting each other, as the buildings and stars seemed really broken. Even the sky was harsh and posterized with sharp blues and blacks. The special effects in the scene, like when it flashes with lots of blue lights and says Sonic the Hedgehog, it just played all of these animations at almost regular speed. They were all done before it even showed Sonic. It looked really horrible, and the music didn't help. The game was lagging ridiculously. I mean, it was lagging so badly I had time to launch Camtasia and start recording this phenomenon. The music was choppy and pitched, but almost regular speed. Live and learn. View I heard, as the music finished before the camera even zoomed in on Shadow's face. I assumed, since the game locked up, it somehow made Maria's theme be everywhere all the time, but after I got past that horrible scene of Shadow opening his invisible eyelids and broken colors body with Maria's graphic fighting him, Maria's theme wasn't even on the menu. It was the Shadow the Hedgehog theme I had on, before I did all this. Naturally, I wanted to turn it on, but found I didn't have the Maria theme. I was baffled. If I didn't have the Maria theme, then what was happening to the opening movie? This also means it didn't save, which means I had to do the whole thing again. I went to stage select, went to Jow Garden with Shadow, because I like him, ran into the normal Jow Garden, and was about to launch Visual Boy Advancem, when I saw a new egg. I was frustrated, so I decided to throw the egg and let out some anger. When I picked up the egg, I decided to close Camtasia, because the game was still lagging a bit. I threw it at the wall to the left of the Jow teleporter. The egg cracked and a odd Jow bounced back and behind me. I turned around to look at it, as the game froze. It looked like a Jow with Maria's hair staring at Shadow. Shadow was also looking at the Jow. I stared for a few seconds, before I launched Task Manager to see if Dolphin was responding. Task Manager said it was running normally, so I messed with the controls a bit. It's not abnormal for Task Manager to say a frozen program is running, so I decided to close Dolphin from Task Manager's processes. Before I closed Dolphin, I took a screen capture of what was happening. I opened Paint.net to save the screenshot. I cropped it while I was there, because why not, and had a closer look at it. I thought I saw something really faint. I went ahead and saved the picture. Then I opened something called Curves, which is a color editor in Paint.net. Curves sometimes helps me bring out details in pictures, so I decided to use it here. I played with it for a good 10 minutes, then I saw her. Maria was staring down on Shadow. It was very faint, but she was there. On the right side of the screen, looking straight at Shadow. She was there. That was enough to make me breathe heavily. My mind was just blown. I didn't know what was happening. Should I continue my pursuit to unlock everything? Well, of course. Today's my day off. And if I don't do this, what will I have to do? I launched the game, skipped that horrible opening movie, and decided to stop with the Maria theme. This time I wanted to see if I could find anything else wrong with this game, so I went to story mode, dark story, and started Shadows Past, the Radical Highway level. The cutscene with Eggman watching Shadow stand on the bridge played normally. I decided to launch Camtasia and record once Shadow's segment of the cutscene started. HMMPH. How pathetic. Shadow said, as there was a strange purple flash over the screen. Find them, before they escape. The cutscene was playing normally until Maria's part showed up. The sound was messed up. The audio was saying, all the people do it. I beg. All the people do it. I beg. All the people do it. I beg. No. I beg. No. I beg. No. But the word no was in Shadow's voice. The cutscene played over itself for a moment, overlapping, then the cutscene stopped short and went straight to the stage. Once I started playing the stage, I read break through the besieging military, but all of the letters were grayed out, except a couple. The letters that were not grayed out were the in break, the R in through, the I in besieging, the M in military, and the in military. In the background, I saw Maria's head and shoulders from an odd top-down angle. Her eyes were really dark, almost black, and she was sort of staring at shadow out of the left corner of her eye. I took a screenshot, but closed Camtasia, because Dolphin was lagging a bit. As I played through the stage I never lost sight of Maria. Even if it was her back, dress, feet, hair, one eye, or a finger, she was always there, fading in and out. I decided to pause the game and launch Camtasia again. At this point I didn't care about the lag and wanted to capture this. A few seconds after unpausing I beat one of the G.U.N. robots and the Gerald in prison cutscene started playing over the game, but the text and special effects weren't on it. Just Gerald kind of sitting there, but it distorted the colors of the game. It was kind of like what happened with the intro, but Gerald was tearing the graphics instead of fighting them. The cutscene clearly had dominance over the other graphics. About halfway through the cutscene, Maria started fading in and out of the scene in different poses from different angles. Even with everything that was happening, the game was playing at perfect speed. One pose shocked me, however. Maria on her back with her legs spread awkwardly, allowing the camera to catch a full shot of her special parts. Maria was blocking her face with her hands. I decided to pause the game and stop recording there. I saved the video and severely blurred it at that part so you can't make it out. I didn't realize, until I unpaused the game, but I had been playing the entire time, before I paused, and actually rather well. I was impressed with myself. There was another pose that caught my eye, though, one of Maria completely naked holding her pose during the Shadows Past cutscene on the control panel. They started getting more disturbing, as another pose of Maria naked showed her legs were red, but it looked like her hair. Blood? I thought, but Sonic Adventure 2 doesn't have any blood graphics. Then again, this isn't a blood graphic. I screen capped it and cropped down to only her legs. Once I beat the stage, the game began counting my rings and score. Instead of getting rank S, which I totally deserved, a shot of Maria's face was shown and the stage faded out. Normally after Radical Highway the cutscene with Sonic finding Shadow on top of the Bigfoot robot with a Chaos Emerald plays, but that was completely skipped. It also didn't put me into the Egg Quarters level. In fact, it skipped Egg Quarters, Lost Colony, Weapons Bed, Security Hall, and started the cutscene before White Jungle. Shadow was walking through the forest, the cutscene was normal. Shadow picked up his talkie and Rouge's voice was playing normally. This is Rouge. I've got a small problem, but the subtitles were incorrect. The subtitles read, Gerald, all the people do it, all the city. The audio continued normally but the next set of subtitles didn't say, I can't believe that I'm trapped inside this lock safe with a they said STS on the arc. When I wake, when I sleep, they look. They do thing. It continued. Instead of Chaos Emerald. I guess I won't be able to call myself a it read S. I do not know why it hurts. I cannot walk. IND. Instead of Treasure Hunter anymore, it read, Rug Down by Gerald No. The countdown of Eggman's bum showed, then the screen flashed white and Maria was shown leaning over a control panel. It does this in the cutscene normally, but the game froze there and the audio stopped. I thought Dolphin was lagging, so I opened Microsoft Notepad and jotted down the subtitles, hoping to make some sense of them later. I also decided to launch Camtasia. It took a minute to load up, but when it did, I didn't start recording, because nothing was happening anymore. I loaded up Task Manager to see how much CPU the computer was using, so I could decide to keep Camtasia open or close it. The whole computer was peaking at 50% and idling at 10%. That's excellent for the Dolphin emulator, especially when running Camtasia. Dolphin was still running according to Task Manager, so I decided to hit enter, which I had pinned as the GammaCube's start button, to skip the cutscene. Windows sent me a beep to say that enter doesn't do anything. I minimized Camtasia and clicked on Dolphin so, when I hit enter Dolphin would get it, but before I hit enter I noticed that the stars behind Maria's head were kind of off looking. I stared for a minute to see if Maria's face was back there, and I noticed a few odd patches where stars were missing. I took a screenshot, closed Camtasia so I wouldn't kill my PC saving this, then I opened paint.net so I could save the screenshot. I stared at the shot for a few minutes. I noticed that the patches of missing stars were letters that spelled kill. I saved the file, then outlined the missing stars and saved another picture. I clicked on Dolphin and once again pressed enter. Liu Xing. The sound effect played as the screen read, Stage 09 White Jungle First Mission, cut through the jungle in 10 minutes. Like in Radical Highway, all of the letters in the text box were grayed out except for a couple. The word cut, the T in through, the R in through, the E in the J in jungle, the U in jungle, the L in jungle, and the exclamation point. I never made any sense of these letters. I waited for the level to load, and when it started, I saw Maria in the sky with a blank expression, looking down on Shadow but sort of toward the screen at the same time. I stared, observing every detail of her indescribable face. An ounce of logic must be left in my mind, because I told myself not to play anymore. I came up with a great excuse to take a break, figuring out these strange messages. I started with the screenshot I took of Radical Highway. I only had to look for a second before I figured out the letters spelled Maria. Feeling pretty confident, I wanted to take a shot at the subtitles I jotted down a moment ago. I first strung them all together in Windows Notepad. Gerald, all the people do it. All the scientists on the Ark. When I wake, when I sleep, they look. They do things. I do not know why it hurts. I cannot walk. I am drugged down by Gerald. No. They look. They do things. When I sleep, when I wake. All the scientists do these things. All of the scientists were doing something to her when she was sleeping. Something that hurt. Did they perform experiments on her? I know Gerald was trying to cure Maria's neuroimmunodeficiency syndrome. Maybe he was trying to cure Maria during her sleep. Then I remembered the pictures of Maria naked and the one where her legs were red. Oh my God. I said out loud. Did Gerald and these other men commit acts of to Maria? I stood up and paced around the room for a while, occasionally glancing at the computer screen, refreshing my memory the details of Maria's face. This experience was starting to make sense though. Gerald drugged Maria down and the scientists jumped her. It's probably why she loves Shadow so much. He never touched her. This is starting to fill some of the plot holes in Sonic Adventure 2, though. Shadow does mention Gerald building the Eclipse cannon, and that Project Shadow is indeed an experiment to make weapons of mass destruction, not to cure neuroimmunodeficiency syndrome. In the Japanese version of Sonic X, I remember that Maria was put onto the Ark because her disease is contagious and deadly. If neuroimmunodeficiency syndrome is contagious, that means all of the scientists on the Ark got it and thus couldn't leave. This also gives a reason for the G.U.N. raid. Gerald gave them their weapons of mass destruction, Eclipse Cannon and Shadow, so G.U.N. killed everybody on board, as not to spread the disease or use any of these weapons. Gerald was arrested, however, it was probably so G.U.N. could ask him how to use Shadow and the Eclipse Cannon, two pieces of information G.U.N. never got. If the scientists had the disease, that means they had nothing to live for, which explains their actions. Still, I find this hard to take in all at once. I mean, seriously? How old is Maria, anyway? What could Sega be thinking? Would Sega put such a twisted plot element in a children's game? I don't think so, but now that I think about it, there are a lot of holes in SAT2 that just got filled, and a whole lot of garbage in Shadow the Hedgehog 2005 that never happened. For example, Shadow didn't lead Maria to a dead end, where she was shot like the Shadow the Hedgehog opening suggests. Maria in fact leads Shadow to the cryogenic tube, while already wounded, where she then launched Shadow out of the Ark and died, as she pulled the lever. It's obvious in Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic X, while Shadow the Hedgehog rewrites Shadow's entire life and honestly isn't very dark plot-wise. I am starting to believe SA2's plot was so sketchy, because Sonic Team had to remove all of these gruesome plot elements last minute. Just like Genocide City from Sonic 2. It's still in the game. You just have to hack it to get there, and once you get there all of the levels' graphics are gone. Linking both emulators together like that must have caused the game to load up like it was originally supposed to. I think Shadow the Hedgehog solely existed to help cover up some of the nonsense in SAT2. After my logic session, I found myself seated, staring at the details of Maria's face once again. I couldn't stop feeling sorry for her. She's such an innocent girl, always valuing her experiences and providing light to any unsettling situation. For these men, no, these monsters, to crush her spirit. It's inhuman. Through some deep breathing, I found myself calmed and began playing the level. As I played, I couldn't keep my mind off of Maria. The images of her in sexual positions fading in and out of the background made the matter hard to ignore. The stars that say kill faded gradually into memory and pieced themselves together with these sexual positions of Maria. My logic was functioning in a mind-numbing way, but it eventually came to two possible conclusions: that Maria was killed during one of these acts, thus the stars that say kill, or Maria possibly wanted somebody killed. This isn't making any sense. I thought to myself, but I remembered something I had sealed away in my memory. When I was a child, I had a series of similar experiences with a neighbor. The game was Doctor. I still remember the words, "Let's play Doctor" in the storage building. Her obsession with pine needles and blackberries, it's a painful subject. It went on for a couple days before the parents of us both captured the act. I never saw her again, but I came to a decision to forgive her. I was damaged though. Those experiences, once I realized what had actually happened, severely affected some major decisions in my life. When I think real hard about what actually happened, it honestly wasn't a terrifying experience. Demented, weird, and somewhat scarring, yes, but I had so much help and counseling from that point on. It is no longer a problem. This girl, Maria, though, she was on a space station full of men. Her experience was really horrible and she didn't have the counseling or escape I had. She died on that ark, used as a ragdoll then thrown into the garbage. I wish I could help her. I could bring her to the same realizations I've come to, if we could only meet. Alas, this is only a video game, but I couldn't shake the feeling of connection I have with Maria. I decided to do whatever Maria would have me do, anything to clean her face of its paleness. Once I beat White Jungle, I got rank Maria's face and the game instantly flashed to the cutscene of Sonic and Shadow going super, but Maria was fading in and out of the scene. I decided to bring up Camtasia but couldn't start recording until about halfway through the scene. At this point the camera had completely zoomed in on Shadow, cutting Sonic out. When the cutscene ended, the game took me to a completely black scene. Shadow's animation was frozen, his shading was blend, and his power aura missing. Live and Learn was playing but severely slowed down and choppy. The background was fading in and out many different harsh, burning colors. I saw Maria in the background always on top of the colors. It looked like she was falling, while holding her chest, and her shading was very darkly colored. I pressed the up arrow on my keyboard and started moving forward. The controls were very stiff and didn't feel like Sonic Adventure 2 at all. The camera was stiff too. I saw a wooden chair with Gerald sitting on it. Some white text appeared at the top of the screen. It said, "For all the people on that planet, kill him." Right then I knew murdering Gerald would be the best thing for Maria. I floated around him for a second, looking at his angles. He didn't look exactly like the Gerald from the cutscenes. Maybe this is a beta model or something, I thought. After a second some more text appeared, as the original text disappeared. "Shadow, do it for me. So we can be happy." I pressed X on my keyboard, which I had pinned as the GameCube's button. Shadow's pose changed to the pose he holds when he attacks the final hazard and the game froze. "Thank you" was shown in white text on a black background. The font was on the bottom right corner of the screen. After a minute I started pressing buttons. I pressed every control for the game, then every button on my keyboard. Nothing happened. I decided to save this recording so I wouldn't lose it. I closed Dolphin then started recording again. When I opened Dolphin and loaded Sonic Adventure 2, the thank you screen was immediately there. No Sega logo, no licensed by Nintendo, just thank you. Maria wanted to kill Gerald for doing all of those things to her with the other scientists on the Ark, revenge for dragging her down, holding her, doing her. It's disgusting, but helping Maria carry out her revenge on Gerald made me happy. Now Maria can rest in peace. Maybe that's why Sonic Adventure 2 says "Rest easy, heroes." But instead of saying that, it says, "Thank you." You're welcome, Maria. So, this is a comeback worth waiting for, huh? Being fair, I had not actually seen this coming, and seeing how Sam is still being a child about it, it does not surprise me in the slightest. Plus I know that Harold has something planned in terms of storytelling, and I wonder what kind of plot he came up with. Wait, a dream-based story? Since fucking when? Jesus, since fucking Friday? And he still has it in the works? Since when was his last fucking story? Since fucking January 30th? Jesus, that's almost 2 fucking months ago. And today's the goddamned 20th. Okay, sorry, I'm just as surprised when I heard that, just as much as you are when Harold told you that, Anthony. Plus I was gonna wrap things up here for the day. That is if
Everyone here is a motherfucking asshole, including motherfucking Mike. I wish I can fucking tear this goddamn recording studio down to the goddamn ground.
fuck. Someone stop Sam from going apeshit. Because he is starting to piss me off real good with his fucking tantrums.
Already on it, Mike, don't worry.
God damn it, he flies off the handle more than Harold and Mary combined. Anyways, that is it for creepypasta text to speech, not gonna comment on it still. Hope everyone has a great day, or afternoon, or evening wherever y'all are. Thanks for watching or listening. If you read the epilepsy warning. This has been Mike signing off. Also to note, Sam has been restrained, thank God, but I think Harold may have some words about what was going on he wanted to say himself, and he had wanted to be here, so take it away, Harold.
And thanks for having me on. And Mike, I know that I have been really lazy today. But that has kind of been for good reason. Because I didn't really have much to do on the channel, really. Aside from Harold's Game Room. Oh man. Some other miscellaneous shit to do. Mainly to try and see what I can do with Harold's Game Room and see what else I can do beyond just text-to-speech narrations of creepypastas, you know? See if anyone else is interested in me doing some art and me playing video games. You know, the whole kit and caboodle. All bullshit. But yeah, I enjoy creepypastas despite how not scary they are nowadays. And don't get me wrong, I really have some choice words about Sonic.exe. And to an extent, JC the Hyena. But that entire bit at last episode explained everything for me without me actually saying it. Yeah, JC the Hyena was one crazy bastard. And I actually did not mean any ill harm to anyone involved with him. Or at least not involved with him anymore. Because he has done so much dumb shit that he pretty much let his character be taken by somebody else. mainly is Jeff. I just wonder how things was played out had JC been a more responsible bastard, or then accepted the fact that his creepypasta was shit. Like, real shit. And just wrote a better story than that fucking sequel. All he did. Really, now, since that was all in the past, and I know that JC Tahina may have moved on and at all. Also, if you're hearing any tumbling sounds, I have clothes in the wash, so I do apologize if that ends up here, post-production. So, yeah. If anyone was wondering on how I'm dealing right now, yeah, I'm doing fine. It was just that I did not want to do anything for the rest of 2021. As I had other matters to do, like family, you know? That, and I also had my final semesters being in the 18 to 21-year-old program, and, you know, working and having to do other things beyond and just fucking playing video games and having to do my own goddamn job. But yeah, work was actually rather good for me, and if anything, I did not hate my current place of employment. It was just, I wasn't sure exactly how I was gonna move forward in the future, or aside from applying for more and more jobs, or at least applying to jobs that I enjoy. Like, maybe custodial duty, or working at a local gas station, maybe even and find myself just, damn it. It was just more that I really wanted to get a higher paying job than what I have right now, essentially. And really now, I have actually been considering considering other known positions, or at least other known locations to work, to get paid. Like, maybe at any of the nonprofits, or at least in my area, including in our place, if that exists. That at my local food bank, or that billiards place, that billiards pizza place. I do not know the name of it on the top of my head. But yeah, thank you, Microsoft Mike, for having me on. This has been Harold Baker signing off. Thank you for watching and or listening.
Okay, thanks for showing up and before Mike signing off. Please enjoy the rest of the footage of Sage Mode Naruto and Sasuke fighting scene here. I apologize if it is all silent. I didn't want the sounds and all overlapping on the audio of the text-to-speech and my actual fucking voice. Harold signing off.